Hi, everybody. This is Dave. Welcome back. Glad to have you. Today, we're going to talk about something that I found out. I was watching something, doing some study on the internet, and I ran into something, and it really kind of got me to thinking. And first of all, I'm a big believer in study, in growing, in changing the dynamic all the time of your life. Because, as you've heard me say before, if you're not growing, you're dying. That's just it. There isn't any middle ground on that. There's no stasis anywhere in nature. Everything in nature is always in a state of flux, always in a state of growth or death. That's just the way it is. And we're no different. So if you're at a point in your life where you think this is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life, think again. That ain't happening. You've got to be in a constant state of reinventing yourself. So the question that I came across as I was doing my study was, why do you work? And I thought, that's really a great question because, see, a lot of the people that are seeing this blog are on my team. Okay. Now, I promote online marketing opportunities. And the people that are on my team, my main focus is always to try to help them help themselves and maybe even help me. I feel like you got to learn from everyone. And so the people that are on my team are hopefully bringing something to the table that can help others, including me. But beyond that, there are people out there that are just seeing this, and maybe they're not on their team, maybe they're thinking about joining the team. The point is, wherever you are in your life, okay, even if you're just a friend that's seeing this, okay, wherever you are in your life, you have to understand that this world is not going to wait around for something just because you want it, okay? You have to go out and get it. That's the bottom line. You got to go get it. So the question came up, why do you work? I mean, do you work just to pay your bills? Okay? Or do you work to improve your life, to get ahead? Do you work because you have improved your life somewhat and you definitely don't want to slide back? Or do you work because you've made it and you love what you do and you don't want to stop? Now, it's a great question because if you're in a place in your life where you're working just to pay the bills, I would really start to think about what you're doing with your time. I mean, 40, 50, 60 hours a week spent doing something just to pay bills, that's not living. I'm sorry, but that's not living. Now, I'm not saying don't pay your bills. Don't get me wrong. I've been there. I've been working since I was 12 years old. Okay? I'm not afraid to work, but the point is, I've worked just to pay bills, and I got to tell you, it sucks. Okay? There's no upside to it. If you're working to get ahead, you know what? That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. But you've got to be looking towards steps 3 and 4, where you're already ahead and you're not going to slide back. And then ultimately, step 4, which is you've made it and you have financial independence and you work because you love what you're doing and you don't want to slide back. You want to continue to do it because you enjoy it. Okay? That is really the best place to be. And it's the place you shoot for. Now, granted, everybody is probably in more than one of those steps. Okay? And unless you're in step 4, everybody that's in steps 1, 2, and 3 are probably working somewhat to pay their bills. They're probably working somewhat to get ahead, and they're probably working somewhat to not backslide. Okay? But wherever you are, you've got to understand that reinventing yourself is something that's not a choice. You don't have a choice to reinvent yourself. And it doesn't matter what age you are, okay? You've heard me talk about this before. If you're not exercising, now granted, check with a doctor, make sure you're cool to exercise, okay? But if you're not doing some form of physical exertion, okay, then you're really not in the game, okay? Why? Because when you're physically fit, right, you feel better, you have more energy, and you get more stuff done. And then you're actually better able to reach your other goals, okay? Also, you've got to be studying, you got to be growing, you got to be challenging yourself, you got to be out of your comfort zone, okay? If you're not going after a goal that scares the hell out of you, you need a new goal. I don't care Especially, especially you should be going after a goal you're not sure how you're going to succeed at, how you're going to be at that finish line. Because then you're going to be stretching yourself beyond your capabilities. You're going to be growing. You're going to be learning new skills. And that's part of the importance of what I do for a living, is that learning new skills is ultimately something that has to take place. If you're trying to do something like online marketing, learning new skills is part of it, because it's a constantly changing, exciting, growing situation. But the only way that you can make that happen for yourself is if you're taking massive action. Yeah, I love Law of Attraction and the movie The Secret and stuff, but I think there's like a glaring omission in that movie, which is, I think people mistakenly look at it, and it wasn't the intention, I don't think, of people that did it, but I think people mistakenly look at that and they think, I'm going to sit in my chair and think about having a Ferrari, and I'm going to have a Ferrari. No. No. The law of attraction is real because it's based on real science, okay? It's based on the placebo effect. For those of you who know what that is, if a doctor gives you a pill and you believe that that pill is going to cure your headache or whatever is ailing you, okay, that pill could be a sugar pill. And if you take it, it can still cure your headache. That outcome can actually be affected by your belief that what you're doing is going to affect that outcome. Okay, and this is proven science. The placebo effect is proven science. It's been proven many, many times over. It's not an argument. It's real. Okay, the question becomes, how do you take the placebo effect, the law of attraction, and incorporate that into your life? Okay, the way you do it is you have the belief. You function on a spiritual level about that belief, but then you got to take action. If you're not taking action, it is not going to happen, okay? If you let the pill sit there that the doctor gives you and you don't take it, the placebo effect doesn't happen. You have to actually take the pill. You have to believe the pill is going to solve whatever is ailing you, and then you have to take the action. So ultimately, the key to this, regardless of whether you're someone that's on my team or just a friend of mine that's seeing this, taking action is the most vital thing about staying young. That's why you've got to stay fit. That's why you've got to be constantly shooting for something. You've got to be constantly trying to improve yourself, reading, studying. It's all a part of taking action that's going to give you the outcome that you want. Okay? So ask yourself, why do you work? Do you work just to pay the bills? Do you work to improve yourself? Do you work because you don't want to go back to working to pay your bills? Or do you work because you've made financial independence and now you love to do it and to grow and to be a part of that? Everybody should be shooting for number 4, but honestly, look in the mirror, ask yourself where you're at within that strata. Think about it. This is Dave, and I'm out.